I've got a question for you guys. If Thor is so powerful and almighty, how come the Hulk, a mere mortal, can hurt him? I mean, doesn't that make no sense? How can a human hurt a god? Hello and welcome to DC Craze, the Hitchhiker's Guide to Comic Books. And today we're talking about something that you've probably heard of, and you may know about, but is something I should still make a video about for the people who don't, and that is the Marvel phases. Now, pretty much what the Marvel phases are, in a quick, brief summary, is essentially Marvel releases its movies in phases. So it releases a select few of movies in each phase, and each phase will introduce new characters who will further the story to reach the ultimate ending of Avengers Infinity War. So essentially, what they do is they release a set amount of movies in a certain time frame, and that's one phase. And each phase will introduce new characters that will further the plot to the end game, which is Avengers Infinity War. So I thought I'd do a little explanation on each phase and what they introduced and changed in each phase, so you guys can know a little bit more. Enjoy! So we're starting off with Phase 1, obviously. And the first movie in Phase 1, which is the first Marvel movie or first Marvel Cinematic Universe that we know now today, the first movie in that installment is Iron Man, which is the 2008 one. It was pretty much just the kickoff, you know. It introduced the basic characters, you know, it introduced Iron Man, Rhodey, and a lot of Iron Man characters, just like Obadiah Stane. And so that was the goal of this whole that first movie, was to kick off the cinematic universe and to start it off with its first character, which is Tony Stark. The second movie was another 2008 movie, which was released on June 13th, was The Incredible Hulk. Now, this one is a little bit iffy. Now, the events of it still happened, but the actor changed. So it used to have a different actor, because there was some complications with pay, and honestly, Marvel's bad with that a lot. A lot of their actors complain about pay. So that's the other. That was the second movie, which introduced the new character, the Hulk. Then there was Iron Man 2, which introduced Whiplash, Justin Hammer, which is a big one, and you can find Justin Hammer, his products, in shows like Luke Cage. So that was the third one, and that was introducing a few new characters, but mainly just Iron Man again. Then we had Thor, which was a 2011 movie, and I forgot to mention Iron Man 2 was a 2010 movie. So it took 2 years to produce another movie and another year to produce the next one. So Thor was released May 6th, 2011, and that, of course, introduced Thor, and so that was another character that they had to introduce within the cinematic universe. And then the next one, which is June 22nd in 2011, was Captain America: The First Avenger, which is probably, you know, one of the most important movies other than Iron Man, because, you know, Captain America, you know, leader of the Avengers, very, very important character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and is very essential to the cinematic universe even now. So his movie was very important, very pivotal, and so that one was very important. And the last film in the Phase 1 was Marvel's The Avengers, which was released May 4th, 2012. And obviously, as you may know, you know, that's very important, because that introduced all the Avengers, the main Avengers, not all of them, but, you know, most of the main Avengers, and those pivotal characters in the story of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it brought them all into one spot right away. And it also sets up the story, you know, for knowing about aliens and things like that, sets up the scene for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and things like that, and it was a very important movie, and it also finished up Phase 1. Now, Phase 1 was a very good one. It lasted about from 2008 to 2012. So it was about a 4 years around of that phase, and it was very essential in kicking off the Marvel Cinematic Universe. All those movies were pretty well received. There was Iron Man 2 wasn't the greatest, but, you know, they were okay. They were okay, and they definitely made a good impression on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, unlike the DC Cinematic Universe, which is not doing so well right now. So now we will move on to Phase 2. So now we move on to Phase 2, which did not start off very well. It started off with Iron Man 3, a very not really good movie. It didn't really have Iron Man, and that's my opinion, which was released May 3rd, 2013. But my biggest problem with that movie is that there wasn't enough Iron Man. You know, we had Tony Stark, we got to see a lot of Tony Stark, but we didn't see Iron Man. And that's not something that I very much enjoyed. and I felt that we really should have seen a lot more of Iron Man, and like some cool Iron Man fights. Then we had Thor: The Dark World, which again was not the best movie. It was released November 8th, 2013, and wasn't really, people weren't really digging the movie, if you know what I mean. They weren't like, yeah, this is the best movie I've ever seen. It didn't do as well as the first phase. So there's not much I have to say about that, but it did introduce another Infinity Stone. Next, we had Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which was a very good movie, very, very entertaining, very good, and I really liked it. Almost as good as, I would say, in my opinion, better than the first Avenger. It was very interesting, very cool, introduced a lot of very, very interesting, cool characters, and I liked it. Then we have Guardians of the Galaxy, which was an amazing movie, favorite Marvel movie of them all. It was so cool, I really loved it, the charisma, the characters, the laid-back nature of the movie. It was a very, very, very good movie, and I really enjoyed it. I've watched it multiple times. Then we had Avengers: Age of Ultron, which was released May 1st, 2015. I forgot to mention Guardians of the Galaxy was released August 1st, 2014. So Age of Ultron was good, and it also set the stage for a lot of the future movies in Marvel's Phase 3. As in, when they drop, spoilers, they drop the whole city down, killing a bunch of people. You have AI, and you introduce Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and Vision. So that was a very important movie, which was pretty good. And then we had Ant-Man, which is, that's a close contender with Captain America, this Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Those three were very good movies. Ant-Man is probably my second favorite movie. It was very, very amusing. I very much enjoyed it. And it also introduced Ant-Man, essentially, and Wasp. Those are the two characters that it really introduced. The rest were not as important to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But that was released July 17th, 2015, and it ended the Phase 2 of Marvel. Now, it had a rocky start. Phase 2 did have a rocky start, but it ended very well, and it ended in a very good way with very good movies. And I think it was a very good phase, probably one of my favorites. I really enjoyed it, seeing all these new characters, the sequels to movies that I liked, and just a lot of cool things that were introduced in that. That phase was bringing it into closer, introducing enough characters to be present in the Infinity War movie. Now, Phase 3 was essentially just, supposed to tie up loose ends. They just needed a few more characters to be ready for the Infinity War phase. And so there's only two movies in Phase 3, which is Captain America: Civil War and Doctor Strange. May 6th, 2016 was Captain America: Civil War, and November 4th, 2016 was Doctor Strange. And those movies were just setups. That's it, just setups. This phase was super short. It was just to get those last few characters in, the last few things in, to set up and prepare for Avengers: Infinity War. Both very good movies. I enjoyed them a lot. Definitely the better superhero movies of 2016. Unfortunately, DC did not do well, but this isn't about DC. This is about Marvel, and I think that it was great for them, and I'm pretty happy that they did well. And it's definitely they were definitely perfect characters and perfect storylines to set up the Phase 3. Then we have Phase 4. Now, I'm not entirely 100% sure which movies are going to be in Phase 4. But my assumption is that all the movies leading up to Avengers: Infinity War will be Phase 4. And now, when this phase ends, it doesn't mean that the Marvel movies end. That's not what's going to happen. Unfortunately, what will happen is a lot of characters, or at least a few characters, will be being removed from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So some people have speculated that Captain America or Iron Man will be leaving the character roster for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's probably just either they don't need them anymore, the actors don't want to act in them anymore, but for whatever reason, some characters are definitely leaving because they can't have all the same characters. They're going to bring in new characters, different people we can like, and we're going to see a massive change in Phase 4. So the first film that I assume is going to be in Phase 4 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is May 5th, 2017. We don't really know all that much about it, but I'm expecting it to be just as good as the first one, if not better, so I'm quite excited. Then we have Spider-Man: Homecoming, which is July 7th, 2017, which I'm very excited for. It's super cool. My favorite superhero as a kid was definitely Spider-Man, and I really, really liked him. And I'm just happy to see another reboot that looks so much better than the last two, and I'm really excited for that one. Then we have Thor Ragnarok. Not that excited for that. No offense to all you Thor fans out there, but Thor is not really my favorite superhero. He's never interested me all that much. I'm sure it'll be a good movie. I'm happy to see that they're going to be doing some stuff with Hulk and other characters, maybe even Doctor Strange. But to be honest, it's not the one that I'm most excited for. Then we have Black Panther, which is something that I'm super pumped for. We get to see Wakanda, all the cool stuff, you know, King T'Challa and things like that. We get to see the new Black Panther, which should be a very, very incredible, cool experience. And I think it's going to be one of the better movies of 2018, because that's coming out February 16th in 2018, so early 2018. And then on May 4th, 2018, we have Avengers Infinity War, which my assumption is that is going to end Phase 4 and begin Phase 5, or they may restart to Phase 1. But pretty much it's going to be, you know, the war against Thanos, and that's the whole premise of that. I don't really have much info on that. I know they've already begun filming. I can't tell you all that much, but I can tell you that I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a very good movie. Then we have, after that, we have 4 movies after that. We have Ant-Man and the Wasp. No info on that. Should be a very good movie if we're judging by the first one. We have Captain Marvel, which is a movie I'm very much anticipating, because I do have a Captain Marvel comic, and I do enjoy it, and she's a very interesting character that I don't really know a lot about. I might do an origin on her, but I definitely want to look into her more. Then we have an Untitled Avengers film, which is May 3rd, 2019, and doesn't even have a title. I can't even imagine what it's going to be about. I can't imagine what's happened between, you know, now and Avengers Infinity War. And then we have Spider-Man Homecoming 2, which will be July 5th, 2019. Now, these ones, all the ones I just listed, their dates are subject to change, obviously, because it's so far in the future. But that's just pretty much, you know, your guide to the movies that are in Marvel that are going to be coming out. And I think it's going to be a really, really interesting roster of movies that we're going to get to watch. And I think Marvel's coming to an end, I think, when it comes with the old characters. The old characters are all ending, and we're introducing new ones. I don't know how I feel about that, because I really like Iron Man and I really like Captain America, so I'm not sure how that's going to go for me personally, but I think we're going to get a lot of good movies, and I think it's going to be a really, really good next few years with Marvel. So I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a little bit more about the DC Cinematic Universe, and you guys can go brag to your friends and things like that. And so if you liked the video, don't forget to share and subscribe. I salute you if you made it this far, and I will see you all in the next video.